your video is not turned on. Is that normal?
Yes, actually, I don't want to expose my face online, so
Oh,
I hid
okay.
my camera.
Yes, yes. Okay, well, how about taking mobile classes? Have you thought about that before?
More, please.
Have you thought about having mobile classes instead because you
Ah,
won't have to use a camera like that?
mm, actually, I never have used that, yeah, mobile classes before, so,
Mm-hmm.
but I've seen the announcement from the Mint that
Mm-hmm.
they will change the system of mechanism of the uh, class, especially for
Mm-hmm.
video class. So I will try.
Yes.
Have you
Okay, then
used
used what?
the mobile video class?
Oh, no, no, no. Because there are several ways or several platforms that we use here in the Min company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the students can either have video classes
Mm-hmm.
or they can also have mobile classes.
Yes.
So for the mobile classes, it's just literally a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the video classes, there are at least three platforms that we are
Uh,
using at the moment. So we have the Mint B, we have the Mint English, and then we have this one, the video
so
room. Yes,
at first
and
you mean the mobile phone call you
yes, yes, yes,
recommended me for, yeah.
yes, because you said that
Uh,
you don't want to reveal your face online, so I think it would be also good if you can choose to have a mobile class if you're more comfortable with that, of course.
although I don't want to expose my face online, but I think it is useful for me to watch the faces of teachers, even though.
Oh.
So I prefer, yeah, these video classes than
Mhm.
phone call classes.
Yes, yes. Okay, well, anyway, whatever you're most comfortable with, then let's go with that. All right.
Hmm.
So before we start, your name is Sunny.
Yes, right.
Okay, and for me, you can call me Amara. It's nice to meet you today. All right.
Nice to meet you, Mara.
Yes. Okay. And this is our first class together. So, what would you like to do in our class today?
I want to talk about the article, but I
Oh, okay, okay.
haven't, yeah, read it before, so I have to read this article in our class. I chose an
Yes.
article, the first one. The title is Oil in
Um.
Sea.
Okay, okay. So under the beginner one. Okay. So
Yes.
oil and sea. Do you have a copy?
Yes, yes, I can see
Okay.
in the article
Yeah,
on my
so since
computer.
you mentioned that you did not read this yet, I'll give you time to read this as loud as you can, please. You
Okay.
can start.
A group of fishermen were outraged when they came across a large oil spill with thick clumps covering the Gulf of uh, Paria in Trinidad, Trinidad, after a new leak along a crude pipeline in early August. Gary About and fishermen and friends of the sea documented the spill, and they criticized the cleanup attempt by the oil company Paria Fluor Trading. They called for the company to contain the oil and collect it instead of dispersing it with boats. Hundreds of oil spills have been recorded in one of the most biodiverse areas of Trinidad and Tobago. Big ships drive around and make circles in the oil to clean it. However, this makes the oil go to the seabed where it causes enormous damage and it contaminates the food chain.
Okay, thank you so much for reading this one.
Mhm.
There are some words here that I would like you to repeat. So,
Okay.
first one is outraged.
Outraged.
Okay, outraged. Outraged.
Outraged.
Yes, yes. Okay. and then crude.
Crude.
Yes, yes. Okay, and then for this name, the name of the place. So in American English, we usually pronounce. Oh, sorry. We usually pronounce that with a soft R sound. So Trinidad, like that. But I believe that for countries or in these countries, they pronounce it with a stronger
Hmm.
sound or R sound, a stronger R sound. So there is a vibration.
Hmm.
Trinidad, like that.
Trinidad.
Yeah, so there's like a vibration on letter R, Trinidad. But on American English, it's very soft,
Uh-huh.
Trinidad. So
Trinidad.
Trinidad or Trinidad is also good, or are some of the ways on how you can read or pronounce this place. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Before we continue, do you have any questions with the vocabularies that were used here, or maybe expressions that were used here?
Uh, I disperse to
Yes.
spread over a wide area.
Okay,
Dispersing.
so when you say disperse, this is a verb
Mm-hmm.
that means to say to distribute something like that. And
Spread.
usually it is used in oil spills, for example. So when you disperse something at sea, you spread something, like
Mm-hmm.
you scatter something or you disseminate something. For
Uh,
example, maybe you have heard this vocabulary when they tell people to disperse like that. So
mm-hmm.
let's say that they are closely packed like that. So some or someone tells them or asks them to disperse, it means to say that they should scatter. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect example is the situation now that we have in COVID-19 in this COVID-19 pandemic. So we should disperse. We should scatter, not
Mm.
be close to each other. So social distancing, right?
I see.
Yes. Okay. So you can use this word as a verb, as an action word, or you can also use this as an adjective. Okay.
Adjective.
So
Mm-hmm.
when you use this as an adjective, it means to say like you are talking about a face dispersed in another face. So let's say they separated like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly used in science, in chemistry, like that.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So in this article, it said here in the sentence, okay, they called for the company to contain the oil and collect it instead of dispersing it with boats. So they are. This means that instead of scattering the oil at sea, they should just contain it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
instead of spreading it or scattering it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have any other questions there?
Uh, no.
Nothing else. Okay, so what can you say about this situation?
Um, I think this article didn't say about the the date of the accident,
It
right?
said actually, it
Only
said here
August.
early August. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
So this
So,
year probably.
uh-huh. So in early August, there were a large oil spill
Mhm.
in Trin- Trini- Trinidad
Mhm.
from a crude pipeline. So mm, actually, they had to clean up the the sea from
Mhm.
the spreading the dispersing oil. So the company tried to collect oil instead of scattering it.
Mhm.
And after this accident, uh, there mm, this makes this caused enormous damage, and the sea was contaminated.
Mhm.
So the food chain was uh, uh, dis- destructed,
Or destroyed, you mean?
destroyed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can also use the word damaged at the same time. Okay, so it said here in the first sentence that a group of fishermen were outraged when they came across our large oil spill like that.
Hmm.
So if you were one of the fishermen in this area,
Hmm.
in the Gulf of Paria, you also feel the same like them?
Yes, of course.
Hmm. Yes. So, yes, of course. Why would you feel outraged like these fishermen?
Mm, because the fishermen, a group of fishermen, uh, I think, make ends meet with the sea. So if
Mm-hmm.
the sea is contaminated, they cannot make money or they cannot make profit yet. So um, if I were a fisherman,
Mm-hmm.
I would, yeah, be outraged, and I would try to make the sea clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How would you do that?
Uh, uh, I'm not sure because I'm not a fisherman, so I don't know
Oh,
about the
but as a citizen of a country or of Korea, for example, how would you help to keep the sea clean or to prevent it from getting damaged?
actually as a volunteer. I
Mm-hmm.
had a experience about this kind of uh, experience. I have uh, this kind of experience that
Mm-hmm.
when the sea in Korea was contaminated from the uh, leaking a crude pipeline earlier,
Mm-hmm.
so I volunteered to get rid of the oil from the sea. So we
Yes.
used some kind of fabric to absorb the oil to the fabric. So as a voluntary.
Or you did that. So you would help in keeping the sea clean by being a volunteer. And
Yes,
actually, you already had an experience regarding this one, very
yes, right.
similar to this situation
Hmm.
that we have in the article.
Yes.
So, how long did it take for you to clean it?
Actually, I volunteered one day for removing and the oil from the sea, but I think it took several months or years to
Mm-hmm.
remove the oil completely. So
Okay. So you volunteered for a day and
yeah.
then you did not go back. So
Hmm.
how about now? Do you think the oil in that part of the sea is already gone?
I don't think so because if it once it once it is contaminated, I think it is impossible to
Mm.
recover thoroughly. But um, I believe that the sea have ability of self purification.
Mm-hmm.
So fortunately, it can uh, become origin condition,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it is not the same with the wholly original situation, original condition.
Okay. So what you're saying is that they would, or it might probably get better, but it will never go back to normal.
Yes, yes, and sometimes
Oh.
the sea has lost its self purification ability, so
Mm-hmm.
sometimes some areas it cannot recover by itself. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Well, that is unfortunate. But hopefully things will still get better, and if the sea really has self purification abilities, then hopefully it will work maybe in the future, right?
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yes, yes. Okay. So anyway, I think our time is already over, but do you
Okay.
have any questions for today?
Uh, Actually, I think these days the teacher don't rate the students' grade, right?
You mean in the feedback box?
Yes, feedback box.
Okay, because actually they made some changes in
Mm-hmm,
the feedback box.
mm-hmm,
So the rating for your listening, pronunciation,
mm-hmm.
and your grammar skills like that, they're not included in the feedback box already. So there's a new format. You can check that later on, and you can check what I wrote down there. All right?
Yes, but I know, but can you rate me as a number?
Oh, sure, sure, sure. You mean
Today's,
the
yeah, for
five ones
today's
that
class.
is included in the previous version of
Mm,
feedback box?
okay.
Yes, okay. I'll do that for you. All right, so I think that is all again for today. I hope that you have a great day ahead, Sunny. Goodbye.
Bye.